You are going to be just a great addition to the NBC family. The Today Show is huge, folks. Huge. It's the #1 rated television show during the day, the news program. I mean, it's iconic. And now we get just more of the same establishment cronies, just boom, right there. Google's plan for world's biggest online library, philanthropy, or act of piracy. Google has already scanned 10 million books in its bid to digitize the contents of the world's major libraries, but a copyright battle now threatens the project, with Amazon and Microsoft joining authors and publishers opposed to the scheme. See, this is really about the regulation of information. In my mind, if I can already go to a library and take out a book for free and take that information and then bring that book back, why should I not be able to access that same book and cite it on the internet? Why do I have to pay some kind of a fee? It's ridiculous. We're going to get into that and a lot more in your phone calls. It's the InfoWarrior with Jason Bermas. Go check out my latest article, More Popular Than More.
Direct from Austin, coast to coast, and in your face. You're listening to the Alex Jones Broadcasting Network.
This is all, most of it now anyway, is just digital transmissions of zeros and ones, of binary code. I mean, if you look how far technology's come, they're now releasing wireless cell phone chargers that garner the energy somehow out of the air. Wireless energy. We could easily, give the internet away for free with no monthly fees whatsoever over the airwaves, and it wouldn't cost them much at all. We could probably subsidize it with some government program, although I don't want the government that involved in the internet. It's an excuse to try to get us into internet too. I mean, are we really that far behind North Korea? No, our bandwidth speed is really that far behind them in, internet technology or whatever. It's ridiculous. What else you got for me?
Okay. When I was 11 years old, I was running around my front yard. I cut my foot on a sprinkler head that was cut. I went to the hospital. They gave me a tetanus shot. A few months later, I had appendicitis. I've never heard anybody link vaccines with appendicitis, but as I was reading some articles recently about what the appendix does, how it harvests bacteria, it's like a backup. And I know that these vaccines, they go in your gut. What's the word when they?
You know what? I'd have to look into it. I don't know whether vaccines cause appendicitis or if there's any kind of link in there. The next time I have somebody on the vaccine issue, I will ask if that could be a side effect. But I couldn't tell you, Eric. I'm just not that well versed. Now I got to let you go. I got to jump. Let's go to Mark in Oregon. Mark, you're on the line.
Hi, Jason.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing pretty good, sir. How you been?
Good.
Good. Jason, this is a website that would interest you if you haven't been to it yet.
Mm-hmm.
Medicalcountermeasures.gov.
Okay.
Medicalcountermeasures.gov, and will show, among other things, I'm sure, because I don't have a computer. I've never been on the internet, but I rely on you guys, on you good people here.
Okay.
600 million vaccinations were ordered more than a month ago. Just wanted to mention that to you.
Well, let me say this.
Orders.
I mean, when we talk about purchase orders for vaccines,
for
the
WHO...
for the United States, sure, but they're saying 4.9 billion worldwide. With 6 billion people. Hey, that's 5 out of every 6 people are supposed to take this shot. And then they're putting out false polls, sir, saying 2/3 of the United States is ready to roll up their sleeves and take these shots. Meanwhile, only a month and a half ago, those same polls, the headline was less than 30% likely to take swine flu shot. And then you read into the article, and it was 18%. It was less than 20%. Go ahead.
You're going to get lies and deception in this, because this whole thing is a lie and a deception. Now, when you look at everything about this flu pandemic and what's coming up here, this is not a test, nor is this any kind of drill, and it's not a feint. It's not there to evaluate our reactions preparatory to the actual operation. What's coming up now, imminently, is the actual operation. It's designed to kill, as Steve Quayle was told by his intelligence agency contacts in this country, 25 to 50 million people in the U.S., probably more, much more, because you know how they are.
Well, let me say this.
And millions more worldwide.
Listen, I will be shocked if this is a hard kill vaccine where you immediately see millions and millions of people dying. What I really think that this is going to be is a gradual infection of the populace. In other words, you inject, let's say they only inject 10 to 40 million people in the United States with this first shot. They're saying there's going to be 45 million of them. Well, give it a week, give it 2 weeks, give it 3 weeks. All of a sudden, people will start getting sick with this swine flu. So people who didn't roll up their sleeves will get sick from people who did roll up their sleeves. Those who have adverse reactions off the bat, yeah, they may die, but the media is going to play that down. It's a soft kill weapon. I may be wrong. I hope to God I'm right. And it's not beyond a soft kill weapon. But it's a eugenics program, man. They want you to take 3 of these things. They're going after pregnant women and children first. How sick are they? It's the InfoWarrior with Jason Bermas. We'll be back after this. Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.tv.
Are you tired of losing your hard-earned savings in retirement? Does the continued loss of purchasing power through the hidden tax of inflation brought on by trillions of dollars in government bailouts bother you? Then please let me, Dwayne Daly with Midas Resources, help you to protect what you have left. Call me at 800-686-2237 extension 115, and I will explain to you how to retain your wealth and purchasing power now and in the future with gold and silver. Gold and silver have been a form of currency for 6,000 years compared to our present fiat currency, which has only been in existence for 38 years and failing fast. Call me, Dwayne Daly, at 800-686-2237 extension 115 to start your protection of wealth today. I will custom fit the protection package to your personal needs. No amount is too small, so start today. Call Dwayne Daly with Midas Resources at 800-686-2237 extension 115 for your gold and silver protection portfolio.
Are they gonna be saved?
Now, I'm not that up on the Lockerbie bombing, okay? From what I hear, it's a false flag event. The guy that they blamed didn't really do it. For those paying attention to the mainstream media, they released him last week. Okay, amidst all this controversy, even the mainline articles out there had all of these, 10 different questions. Why are we releasing this guy? If he killed all these people, if he was involved, why is he being released? Well, Jack Straw admits cave-in over Libyan Lockerbie bomber demands. Okay, now what's weird about this article is that this is out of the, the Telegraph, okay? This is mainline media. But already on Fox News and MSNBC, I'm seeing the same headline, only it's Jack Straw denies cave-in over Libyan Lockerbie bomber demands. So callers out there, if you can tell me about the Lockerbie incident, I'll give you a couple minutes, explain it to people, because I'm not that hip to it. But obviously, this guy must have been set up, or they would have never let him go. If he really killed all those people on a plane, if he was involved, he's not going anywhere. The Justice Secretary said he originally wanted Al-Best Al-I Mohammed Al-Maghlai omitted from the agreement, but relented and agreed the bomber should be eligible. He said the Libyans deserved something in return for giving up the nuclear weapons program, but vehemently denied striking a backdoor deal over Maghlai. Shortly after the reversal of the Britain stance, a multi-billion-pound oil exploration deal began between Libya and BP. It got rubber stamped, folks. It just shows you how much power can corrupt and how absolute power corrupts absolutely. Let's be honest. The guy was probably a patsy. If he was involved, it was probably low level at best, but they let him go and he's freed after oil negotiations. Oil negotiations. Oh, they would never do anything for oil, Jason. That's not what 9/11 was about. Well, it was only about that partially. Yeah, they wanted those pipelines through Afghanistan into Iraq, the second largest oil-rich nation in the world, which we now dominate militarily. Hell yeah. That's how we do. We just take it, baby. Permanent bases. We tell you we're out of there. I mean, the mainstream media 2 months ago hyped up the fact we were out of Iraq. We ain't out of Iraq. The official plan says 50,000 soldiers, non-combat troops, because, those guys that are there, they don't carry guns and weapons, and they don't shoot people. No. 50,000 by the end of 2011, right in time for an election year. Meanwhile, Barack Obama gets up 2 weeks ago and he says the Afghan war is worth fighting. We need to dedicate even more people to this Afghanistan conflict. It's so important that we win there. No, it's so important that we stay dominant there so we can keep dealing smack. We are smack dealers. So don't cry to me when your kid gets hooked on H and try to blame some scumbag drug dealer that lives down the corner. No, the real scumbag drug dealers are the ones running black ops in other nations. They're the ones that got caught in the Iran-Contra scandal dealing the drugs. And they still deal those drugs. How does it happen that while the Taliban's in power, and still literally a U.S. puppet at that point, but, you know, they're trying to cut a couple of the strings, be their own little puppet, they're producing about 10% of the world's opium at that point. We come in, guns blazing, shooting people. Where's bin Laden? Where's bin Laden? They weren't looking for bin Laden. When teams found bin Laden, they said, no, 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 you can't bomb there. No, 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 you can't go into that cave. No, no, no. And now what are we at? Well, just a year after the attacks, we were up to 80%. And when I mean we, Afghanistan was producing 80% of the world's opium. Now it's well over 90%. And they just come out and openly admit that they have to guard the poppy fields, supposedly against the warlords.